Hello there everybody, my name is Juan. Welcome back to a new reaction. Today we are back with one of your recommendations. Before we get into that though, again I would like to apologize for taking so much time between this video and the previous one. I've been doing a lot of kind of home remodelation type vibes. As you can tell, the setup is a little bit different. The All Might picture is a little bit further back. I kind of got a brand new desk and set up my PC really badass. I can't really show you. Let's see. Now, the fucking monitors are so big that you can't even. I can't put him in a shot. But as you could tell, maybe, we do look a little crisper because now there is a little bit of distance between myself and the wall behind me, so the camera does kind of focus a little bit on me. I can't. It's a little crazy, bro. I feel like you could see all my details, all my flaws, but it is what it is. But yeah, this is the first video I'm recording with this sort of new setup, so it's kind of interesting. It's kind of cool. I'm liking it, dude. It looks so crisp. I don't think I've looked this good in a while. I think in previous videos, whenever I would record, like the camera would try to like focus on something in the back, but now it's like, oh, you see how the background blurs and then I'm the focus? It's cool, but also I'm like, damn, I'm kind of getting focused on a little bit. I got some room. I can stand up, move around type vibe. So it's cool. I like it. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of that, so I haven't really had time to record, and finally today I kind of got situated a little bit, so I was like, let's get something recorded. What a better thing than to continue the list of recommendations, because I feel like I have abandoned that a little bit. So today we have a recommendation from Big Papa. He says, a great recommendation for you would be Endtroducing by DJ Shadow. It's a more genre blending record, and one of the first to do it purely sample based. I suggest you go in blind and enjoy the ride. It's one of the best of all times. Hope you listen. I have had this screenshot for months now, but we will be listening today. Let's see. Let me see. Damn, these blinds are dirty, bro. But let's see. Let me pull that shit up. Okay, ooh, 1996. We have about an hour here, which is not bad. Okay, let's see. There you go. Okay. We have 16 tracks with a runtime of an hour and 3 minutes. This record is from 1996. I don't recall having ever heard DJ Shadow, but who knows? Maybe I have. So how about we get into it? We do have a few tracks that are kind of long, but oh my god, we have a 10-minute cut on here almost. That's kind of crazy. But okay. Oh, I have been having a fucking mosquito issue, bro. Like they just fucking pop up in here like they own the place. But let's see. Best Foot Forward. Okay.
Bob.
Apparently, it's a very sample-based record. So let me actually do this. Boom. Boom. I like that. Okay. Is it me or do I look fucking yellow? How do I always look this yellow? Without further ado, let's listen to Endtroducing. Starting with Best Foot Forward. Okay, let's see.
Bob Wood, National Program Director of the Chum Group, worked with us in producing...
Hold up, before we get started.
Guess who's coming? Guess who's coming? Guess who's coming?
DJ Shadow.
Back again.
Who is he?
Just your favorite DJ savior. Using and confusing beats that you never heard.
Jesus.
Your face like ultra bright.
You're just fessing, man. I don't even want to hear about it. You're just fessing.
Fessin. Okay.
Producing...
Wait, that sounds interesting, but hold on. Best Foot Forward? Okay. That's interesting, but very sort of, like, jarring, I mean, it's just like a little 46-second intro, right? So maybe it's not to be taken so literally the way that I kind of am right now, but like it kind of was like kind of vibe, you know, like it kind of just bounced back and forth between random shit. But let's get into that second song. It kind of started sounding a little bit more interesting. Let's see.
Producing.
Building steam with a grain of salt. Okay.
Producing.
From listening to records, I just knew what to do. I mainly taught myself. And, you know, I did pretty well, except there were a few mistakes that I made that I have just recently cleared up, you know.
Sounded kind of dramatic, kind of dark, okay.
I'd like to just continue to be able to express myself as best as I can.
I like the voice.
You know, I feel like I have a lot of work to do still, you know. I'm a student of the drums.
Okay.
And I'm also a teacher of the drums, too.
Assimilating and distributing all he receives slowly until it becomes a part of him.
Okay. A little... a nice switch up though, because up till there it was kind of consistent. Jeez, okay. Oh. Okay. Feels like it's coming together like...
And I would like to be able to continue to let what is inside of me, which comes from all the music that I hear, you know, I'd like for that to come out. And it's like, it's not really me that's coming. The music's coming through me. The music's coming through, music's coming through, music's coming through, music's coming through, music's coming through.
Interesting, nice little fade out. Okay. That is so particular, man. The numbers are we'll carry on with that next, but
Producing.
Building steam with a grain of salt. A song usually this long would not be something that I would generally be into, if we can start there, I suppose. It's interesting though. This voice is from listening to records. I like how like chill, calm, and collected it is. Obviously, I think it's a sample just based on how Big Papa kind of prefaced it. And honestly, for a minute, for like the first 2 minutes, it kind of felt like it was very slow to start. But I really like how it sort of culminates toward the end, and even that you get like this sort of like angelic voice. But let me see. Kind of want to revisit some parts because, like, let's see. It's dramatic, it's kind of dark. I honestly was expecting him to kind of start rapping all this, which would have been maybe a little more interesting, but again, somebody...
From listening to records, I just knew it.
Yeah, somebody kind of utilizing samples in this way is also kind of interesting. I don't know who this person is who's saying that, but I kind of love the way how calm, cool, and collected, and how the voice sounds kind of, I like that. I don't know, it's just so chill. And he does talk about, and let's see, I just had recently cleared up, you know, what did he say? Yeah, I mainly taught myself. From listening to records, I just knew what to do. I mainly taught myself, and you know, I did pretty well, except there were a few mistakes, but I had just recently cleared up. I'd just like to continue to be able to express myself as best as I can with this instrument. Which is, I feel like I have a lot of work to do. Still, I'm a student of the drums. I'm a teacher of the drums.
And I'm also a teacher.
And then throughout this entire part, you just have this. Okay. There's a lot, bro. And what's interesting is about this, like I listen to it and I'm like, okay, it's a little slow, but every now and then they switch it up enough to keep you entertained. It's also one of these sort of songs where I feel like the more I come back to listen to it, the more I can pick out certain things, which obviously is just generally how, you know, listening to music kind of goes. But I kind of like that he mentions being a student of the drums and a teacher of the drums, and then the drums kind of kick in.
You know, I'm a student of the drums. And I'm also a teacher of the drums, too.
It's like dramatic and dark, like, okay. But then this sound kind of goes on for a minute. I like that little voice in the back.
So the crab feeds his astral brain.
My favorite part, though, it's somewhere like around here, I think. When everything kind of starts coming together a little bit. This voice. everything coming together right here sounds so good, man. Then the voice in the back kind of sounding a little haunting. It's very interesting. Again, not like a song that I would generally listen to. I feel like generally I do like music that's a little bit more sort of like able to be sung along to, if that makes sense. Able to be like that vibe. This is like a little dark, a little emo, if you will. DJ Shadow, you know, maybe something to do with that. But they do talk about certain things, but it's like it's interesting because it's like it's samples of like somebody else. Like what makes cancer tenacious? The moon rules the fluids, obviously, because of the it creates the tides, right? So it rules the fluids, which are the oceans, including the inner juices of human beings, that which assimilates and feeds the body. And they kind of lost me here. So the crab feeds his astral brain? The who now? Assimilating and distributing all he receives slowly until it becomes a part of him. Okay, I guess I could kind of understand that, right? And if we're talking about like fluid, then obviously a crab lives within the fluid that is the ocean, I guess. He like takes it in, if that makes any sense. And it kind of goes again with what I believe there are different samples. The first sample kind of talking about how he just learned to do music through listening to it, right? Huh. Okay. Okay, how about we carry on? Because, like, I mean, I don't hate it, but it's something, again, it's, like, very sort of artistic, very distinct, you know? It's like, I could sit here and kind of go through it over and over again. So, how about we carry on? But that was interesting, an interesting first 6-minuter. So let's see. Next, the number song.
Breakdown, baby.
interesting. I do feel like there's a lot of stuff going on here, and it kind of changes up every now and again. That I don't even particularly remember what the beginning of the song kind of sounded like. I feel like when it comes to sort of like sampled music or music that utilizes samples throughout, I kind of struggle to kind of get into, kind of find the vibe. This in particular, I don't know. It's like very drum heavy, which I guess makes sense considering in the last song he had a sample saying that he was a student of the drums and also a teacher of the drums. So this being a very drum sort of focused track makes sense. You know, it continues that idea. But I'm not finding the vibe, man. I guess I can give credit to
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breakdown, baby.
I can give credit to like the talent of, you know, playing the drums. There was like one section that I really liked, but like I don't know, man. Throughout it kind of has like this sort of like I don't know if this is correct, but like an industrial kind of feel to it. And again, I do tend to kind of gravitate more towards sort of like vibey songs, a little more chill, you know. This sounds very serious, very kind of like intense and like purposely kind of dramatic and kind of complicated, which I'm like, okay. But again, it's like another one of those where if you kind of enjoy that kind of thing, like samples and sort of like kind of strange music, I guess you might find this a little more compelling. But I'm like, meh. So far, I'm like, you know, it's interesting, and I could again give flowers to where, you know, it's talented to be able to play the drums in this fashion, but it's not something that my ears are like immediately like, wow, this is cool, you know, like I'm kind of like having to process and work to get to a level where I'm like, okay, you know, I like this, but so far I'm like, okay, but let's see, let's carry on, let's listen to the next track, let's see what else we got here. Changeling. This feels old. 7 minutes, holy man. Okay, whoa. This is... Wait. I don't know if it's just me, but like I was vibing. It had taken me on a journey. I was in a little bit of a trance. I was kind of like floating through space through these drums, and this shit kind of completely pulled me out of that experience. Holy, hold on. That like hold on, man. Like I was in. That's a crazy sound. It goes on a little too long for my liking, personally. Something's coming. Okay. I don't know what it is about that particular, like, fucking sound or how they even make that, but it kind of is making my head hurt. I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, I was kind of vibing. I was there. I was like, okay, this is, you know, again, kind of very drum-centric. Kind of the entire song has these drums going on, and I'm like vibing, and I like the direction this is taking, but then this, I don't even know how to, this weird fucking, I don't know, man. Kind of killed it. I'm not gonna lie. Let's see how long does this go on. And I like the whatever's coming in the background. Oh, there you go. Interesting. Wow, okay. I liked how sort of like what, like 2 minutes in, I kind of started going into it, kind of like vibing. I was like, okay, let's let this sound, this sort of like very busy, very almost intense sort of like vibe. I'm like, okay, let's get into it. I'm vibing to it. And then what in the world, man? I don't like this sound here. Look. Okay, this is okay. I was like, okay. Like the little in the background sounds nice, beautiful. They're like, I don't know, man. I don't know. That kind of killed it for me. I was genuinely vibing there. I was kind of fucking entering the fucking state of flow or whatever the fuck, you know, but that I don't know, man. Not for me. I'm gonna keep it real. I do like the way kind of after that sound kind of ends. It kind of goes back to like a more enjoyable sort of listening experience, but that kind of sound, bro, like completely shook me from that experience, man. Which is unfortunate because I feel like this is the song I like the best so far. But then that kind of vibe, I'm like, all right. I guess what you could say it's so far throughout it has been very sort of like dark and kind of mysterious, kind of like the soundtrack for when you want to walk down like a very suspicious and dark alley at night kind of vibe, right? Like, but okay. Let's go next. Let's see if we can find another vibe that we enjoy. 7-minute track is crazy though, and there's a couple on here. There's like a 9-minute one, so let's see. Let's carry on. Transmission 1. Okay. Interesting. Wait. Okay, so somebody just sent a message through my brain from outer space, and apparently it's a dream. Alright, that kind of makes sense, considering all we've heard so far. But let's see, what does your soul look like? Part 4? Let's see, that already sounded kind of good. Let's see. Let me do this. Interesting. Okay, dude. I think I like this one the best so far. My favorite part is like around the halfway mark where this fucking frog or whatever starts like chanting forbidden fucking shit into my soul. Like, I can't even, my voice isn't even deep enough for that. That kind of took me out. I was like, okay, I was vibing, and then you hear that and you're like, wait, whoa. So like very deep, very particular, kind of like a frog, bro. Like, what the heck? Okay, I feel like so far this record, I feel like it's like expert level kind of music experience listening kind of vibe. Like, if this is like one of the first records you heard, you'd probably not be into it. And me, having listened to a handful at this point, I'm like, okay, there are certain things that I like, certain things that I'm like enjoying. I do like the way it kind of like puts you in a trance and kind of teleport you to like a different dimension kind of vibe, you know, and that's cool. But it is also very like niche. I feel like not everybody would be into something like this, and I feel like that's kind of how I felt like the first couple of songs. Now the last one and this one, I kind of feel like I enjoyed a little bit better. In particular, this one with the frog kind of like croaking kind of in my ear. That was kind of nice. I kind of like the sort of vibration it feels like that has, you know. But interesting. Okay. And so far, all, what are we, song 4 or 5, right? Yeah, oh, I didn't mean transmission. I meant like Changeling? Yeah. It kind of had parts that I enjoyed. But yeah, so far into the record, everything is so like dark and mysterious. I feel like I'm lacking a sort of like vibrancy of any kind of like, or any kind of like color. I feel like everything is so like sort of like dark and sort of twisted and a little like intimidating even. It's kind of like, oh damn, look, can we have some fun? You know, fuck, man. Let's see, we got another one next. Untitled.
Maureen's got 5 sisters. They all got ass. One of them has eyes as big as Jolly Ranchers.
Okay.
Beautiful girl. She's a beautiful girl.
What a specific thing to put here. Okay. Like, can you guys even see? Oh shit, my bad. What did I do here? 7 minutes 47 seconds, brother. This record is really testing my patience, bro. Like, I'm trying out here, but like, jeez, man, I have TikTok brain. I can't sit here for 8 minutes, like. But it already kind of sounded like a fucking medieval sort of like fucking you're on a quest kind of vibe. Let's let's see. Oh, it's a medley, okay. What the fuck? Hey, wait, what the fuck, man? Like, I was starting to get into, like, that sort of, like, Transformers movie kind of vibe we had going on, and then he's like, like, what? I kind of like this, how it's not what I was expecting, but it's like, that sounds like it doesn't belong here, man. Like, we were getting into like the sort of like the action kind of started kicking in. You're like, and then like, huh? Wait, what in the world, man? And I'm like, okay. And then we just go back to... That's so strange. What the fuck, man? What? Bro, like, I don't know, bro. It's like you're like in an interdimensional sort of like quest where you've somehow found yourself in like medieval times or something, but like your fucking time machine or whatever got you there is kind of tripping up, and every now and then you hear shit that has nothing to do with this just from the fucking nowhere. Like, what is happening? And then I'm seeing a parking ticket. What the I like this. I really like this. What the fuck, man? We just entered the dungeon type vibe, you know? Like, there's like a boss coming or something, you know? Like,
outstanding warrants left on you and they want to just solve them, you know, whatever it'll be. So they take me in on a chain to Long Beach. And now they lock me up in the cell behind the courtroom in Long Beach while I'm awaiting to be heard on my traffic offenses, parking tickets. And I'm panicked. I'm thinking, you know, my God, man, while I'm here, don't hold me what's to stop them? I mean, what's really to stop them? Oh, I assumed that maybe someday my mother would realize that I should have gotten out. No, she was nice enough. She would have known. But still, what's to stop them? And finally they called me.
There's so much here, bro. And obviously, like a fucking 8-minute track, you're gonna have so many things going on. But like, what the hell, man? I feel like at the beginning I was kind of vibing, but then they kind of just started throwing in random shit that, like, honestly kind of felt out of place. But then you have an album like this that up until this point has felt very intentional. It's not out of place. It's like a conscious, direct, like, artistic choice that this individual has made, but it just sounds so, like, I don't know, again, out of place. Like, I want to find things that I enjoy here, but then it's like an 8-minute track, a medley. I don't know, brother. This has to be top 10 strangest tracks I've ever listened to be honest. You have all these samples that are oftentimes even kind of weird, like the way they kind of like whispered in the background a little bit. Like, what the fuck, man? Okay, let me carry on. Let's see if we can find something here that I'm genuinely, like, into. Let's see, Transmission 2. headphones off for that. Holy mutual slump. What the hell? Transmission 2. At the end there, it got very kind of strange, like maybe like AI's kind of taking over kind of vibe. Like the rest of it though, like the beginning up until that point, was kind of sad. Like this sort of like sentimental, kind of sad, kind of like, which is interesting if the story they're telling through the transmission is somebody trying to send or transmit something through your neural interference and using your brain's electrical system as a receiver. It sounds kind of sad. Man, this album is dark somehow and very weird in my opinion. But let's see. Let's jump into that song. It sounded a little intense. I'm not gonna lie, but let's see. Mutual Slump. I like this. Evacuate! Evacuate! Ooh. Interesting. This is like, he was like, they asked him, how weird do you want to make it? He's like, yes. It's very strange, but it's also, there are parts here that are particularly charming in a very sad way, like this. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Is that not what that sounds like? Hold on. Right? Like, they kind of use that kind of... And they also mentioned Darth Vader, so obviously that kind of makes some sense, right? It's a little strange, but I did like the sort of, like, sadness of it. It's weird. That's very... But there's like... Dun, 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 dun. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. I don't know why that kind of it's strange because it sort of emanates again this sort of sadness, but it's like a relatable kind of sadness. It's weird, and obviously we have like the strangest record I think I've reacted to so far. Yeah, this is very, very weird. I did like that sort of like, and I like when all the components kind of come together and it sounds a little intense, but it continues to carry that sort of sadness. Okay, interesting. Not my general cup of tea, but I think interesting in its own way. Let's see, organ donor. Fuck, man. It got there. Okay. Is that instrument that they're using here not an organ, right? That's what it is. And so an organ donor, interesting, right? Kind of a brief one. I'll take it. What a particular vibe. I find it interesting how he, like, always wants to put, like, something strange, like a random, whoa, or something, whoa, like, yeah. What song are we on? Let's see. I feel like we've done kind of a lot. We got about 6 more to go. Okay. The next one is Why Hip Hop Sucks in 96. Okay. Let's run it. Let's see.
It's the money.
Okay. Interesting. That's very kind of straightforward, no?
Just fact.
I feel like the only way this could be interpreted is that he thinks that hip-hop sucks, or did, in 96 because the people making it are focusing more on the money than on the art, potentially? I feel like that's the only real interpretation you could get there. Okay. Okay, well, I mean, I don't mind a shorty. Kind of... Okay, let's see. Let's go next.
Insight, foresight,
Midnight in a
foresight.
perfect
The clock
world.
on the wall reads a quarter past midnight. Insight, foresight, more sight. The clock on the wall reads a quarter past midnight.
The voice getting like distorted more and more. Oh, come on. An error occurred. That started kind of sounding good, too.
Insight, foresight.
All right, run it back.
The clock on the wall reads a quarter past midnight.
It already sounds very sentimental. Midnight. That's beautiful.
Now approaching midnight.
Okay. I like this one. It has like a very, again, sort of sad, kind of dark sound to it, and he uses his, I guess at this point we can assume it's like his kind of like quirks for creating music, like spamming the. I feel like I would find that kind of annoying in other circumstances, but somehow it kind of works here. I don't know. I feel like this song kind of stays its welcome to a good extent. It doesn't like overstay. It's not too short. It's perfect. It kind of takes you on a journey, even for how he utilizes his sort of like particular like quirks with like music production. Again, like the spamming the now. I feel like it relaxed me, brother. Like it's like, ah man, it kind of chilled me the fuck out, mellowed me out, to be honest, which is interesting. I think it's kind of one of the best from all the ones we've heard. There's only kind of a handful that I can genuinely say that, because some of them are kind of very strange. I kind of liked Organ Donor and Midnight in a Perfect World. Yeah, okay, let's see. Is this the 10-minute song? I think it is. Holy. I guess it's 2 songs in one, but jeez, man. Like, imagine the lifetimes I could live while this song goes on. Like, probably nothing, but you know. Napalm Brain / Scatterbrain. Another medley. Okay, let's get into it. Crickets.
Well, hello there, little buddy. Come on in. What you got there with you? Is that your dog? Guess there's no reason they can't have dogs up there on the moon. That's pretty good looking food. Bet you come back for some more Dr. Neptune's delicious elixir. Is that right? I knew you would. I'll get that for you. Oh, I see. You figured out where it is, didn't you? Well, all right. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll set up a checkerboard here, and we'll have us another game of checkers. One without all that cheat you done last time. Ain't gonna have no...
Kind of came out of nowhere, okay.
See what you do. Got looking glasses like that up there on the moon.
When the bomb's activated and mutilated the leg and arms.
gotta inject some sadness into it, of course. Interesting. Huh. Jeez. Interesting how of those 9.5 minutes, that last section's the one that kind of touched me, kind of in my soul a little bit. Just had like this depth of like sadness to it, man. Um Interesting. Again, this album being so abstract and then kind of strange. Having this two-part song combo meal burger and fries kind of plan here. Feels very intentional. Like at no point did I feel like the song kind of stop and then another one starts. It's kind of blended nicely, in that regard. But was there no way to achieve the same sentiment without having the song be 10 minutes long? Like, and it's like obviously it's intentional. Like everything here is intentional because this is not accidental, right? Like it's obviously like some thought was put into purposely making it like this, which is interesting. I don't think it's bad. It just kind of is too long, man. I don't find myself listening to music like this ever, to be honest, which is kind of crazy that I was able to kind of do it here. No, but yeah, that last like 50 seconds, man, that in particular just switched everything up. Like, it was kind of a slow track, brother. Honestly, not my favorite in any regard, but that last section definitely went to a sort of emotional place. Like, I don't know how to explain it, like some kind of loneliness or something, some sadness that's like incomparable, bro. Like that was kind of deep. I would actually not mind listening just to that last like 50 seconds again, because it just feels so sentimental. And it kind of carries on that same but they strip everything else out and just give you like pure fucking sadness, man. Like, oh, it's building. But it's only apparent when they take the drums out of it. Like, you're like, yeah, man. I don't know what it is about that, like, sort of like forlorn, kind of sad sound that kind of itches the right sort of like niche part of my brain, man. It just kind of like, holy, like the song kind of just twisted on its head and just became absolute fucking sadness at that time. And it's like, oh my god, man. Um, yeah, it's interesting because I feel like a lot of the album kind of carries that same sort of like darkness and almost like this sadness to it, kind of making me wish that DJ Shadow, you're doing okay. I don't know anything about you, to be honest. First time listening, so I don't know what's good, but I think to a certain extent to be able to touch these pockets of sentimentality, like this sort of like sadness, you have to have gone through something, right? Like this, you can't just like accidentally create something that's sentimental. I don't feel like, so it's like, damn, obviously it's like 30 years later, but like, I hope you're good. um We got what? 2 more songs? Okay. Let's get into it. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah. We've spent enough time here, man. Let's keep it pushing. We got 2 more. We got a little 6-minuter with What Does Your Soul Look Like Part 1, Blue Sky Revisited. What is going on here? Interesting. Okay. We do have just a transmission left at the end, but again, this one carries on this sort of theme for the entire record. And honestly, it wasn't until this song that I kind of noticed the sort of contradiction of the title of the record being Endtroducing, sort of introducing an end, which is interesting. Maybe not a contradiction, because I guess you could introduce an end, right, to something, but it kind of it's a little conflicting because you're like introducing, but it's also the end. And yeah, this carries on very, very well the sort of sadness and sort of darkness that we have become accustomed to throughout this record. I'll be honest, these last couple of songs have generally like that's sort of like the way that they express this sort of like deep emotion through the music definitely touched me. At first, I wasn't really sold with the first couple of tracks and stuff like that, you know, but like towards the end now, particularly that like 9 minute track, sort of the end just being like complete sadness, and this one throughout being sadness, but also with the use of the drums, it's like, damn, man, like it kind of feels almost reflective. I feel like when I was younger, I definitely felt like some kind of way, like lonely and kind of sad. Um, but listening to this kind of music in the present, I'm kind of like, damn, I'm kind of glad that I haven't felt those sort of feelings in a long time. But being able to kind of vicariously sort of feel them through this music is interesting. I feel like and it's done very well. I feel like it's incomparable, man. Like the depth of sadness that is kind of on display here. I don't think I've heard another record that kind of does it like that, right? But man, okay, okay, I get it now. Okay, okay. We have one last short little song to get through, so let's get into it, and then I'll give a more. Yeah.
Is happening again. It is happening again.
Okay. Okay. Okay, that was an interesting experience. I do feel like the second to last song kind of worked better as a finisher than that last transmission. That being said, I can understand why the inclusion of these transmissions, and the third one kind of being like, okay, we don't have the technology to reach your brain, your consciousness in the way that we would like to, but what you're listening to is what it is. So that's interesting. Oh my god. I feel like when I read those I kind of end up disliking what they say because they do it in like such a like sort of like condescending way. Not towards the artist, but like kind of makes me feel dumb the way they kind of talk about some people. Like, let's see. Let's read it. Why the fuck not? When Josh David started out in the early 1990s, hip hop didn't have a place for him. First off, he wasn't working with an MC. Then there was the presentation thing. To be a club DJ at that time, you had to have a certain panache that just didn't. It wasn't in me. He tells Apple Music in 2021, hip hop was social music. Yeah, I would agree. The soundtrack for barbecues and block parties, and the DJ, by extension, was the conjurer of a collective energy. Okay, true. Davis has spent the 3 years leading up to his 1996 debut introducing in the basement of a Sacramento record shop, finding new life in what he later called a pile of broken dreams. Interesting. His quest wasn't social, it was existential, okay. And when he did try and play parties, he bombed anyway. Nobody's really dancing to ultramagnetic MCs, he says. They're not head nod records. All those records are the records I gravitated towards. Interesting. Introducing liner notes put it like so. This album reflects a lifetime of vinyl culture, but it also presages an hyperlinked world that like this is where they kind of lose me. I was kind of okay, I get it. I'm gonna just read that first paragraph, man. Like this shit, I'm like, oh my goodness. But yeah, no, I kind of get that. Like sort of he didn't really make music at that time in order for it to be played at parties. It was more like an exploration of like existentialism, I suppose, which honestly, now that I kind of think about it through that lens, it makes sense. Like I said, throughout the whole record, there's just like darkness, there's sort of sadness, man, which basically is existentialism, I suppose. There's these fucking mosquitoes, man. I'm so over this shit. But interesting, yeah. I feel like again at the beginning I was kind of like, what are we listening to, right? But then those last couple of songs definitely sold it to me in a way that again sort of like the depth of emotion kind of felt some kind of way, you know. So yeah, introducing, how peculiar. It's kind of abstract and also kind of very niche, but again, it almost, when listening to it and kind of feeling the emotion, kind of feeling the sadness, you can kind of observe it from a way of being like, oh damn, like I did, sort of like I haven't felt sad like this in so long. So being kind of diving into it, kind of was like, oh my god, man, like ultimately I hope you're good, you know. I think you are at this point, you know. But that was so peculiar, kind of chilling too, in a way that like again, it's a lot of tracks on here have this sort of like effect that puts you in like a trance and kind of chills you out, mellows you out, even if it is kind of sad. Which is interesting. I think Midnight in a Perfect World was my favorite from here. I kind of do like What Does Your Soul Look Like Part 1, though. That was also kind of good. And it's interesting, like a lot of the tracks on here are like a 6 minute 40 seconds, 7 minutes, 7 minutes 47 seconds, 9 minutes, 6 minutes for the second to last one. Like these are like tracks that are insanely long for my standards. Honestly, like I'm not used to listening to shit that's that long. But even then, even if oftentimes it kind of they'll feel very slow and kind of like it went on for a little too long, it was still sort of like a vibe that was entertaining, if not sort of relatable, even with like the sort of like sadness that it carries. But yeah, there is definitely worth revisiting, I feel like. And well, I like most likely will. I think when it comes to giving this a rating from 1 to 10, I'm feeling like a 7. I feel like that's fair. Again, at first I wasn't really vibing with it too much. It kind of felt a little strange, and there are certain sort of artistic choices that feel a little questionable to a certain extent. Obviously, I don't make music, but generally I do like sort of like getting into the vibe, like falling into it, allowing the music to kind of like dictate what it is we're like kind of feeling, kind of vibe, you know. But then there are moments where he uses sounds that are just so like obtuse and kind of crazy that it kind of just completely ruins the vibe, like it did in Changeling, I think it was. Changeling, I don't know how you would pronounce it. But no, overall it's I think definitely very deep in sort of emotions. So that was interesting. But yeah, 7 feels fair. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and leave that there. Man, now I feel like kind of out of my mind a little bit, which is interesting. But yeah, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and leave that there. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Let me know what you think. It's a very, I think, one of the stranger records that we listened to, but nonetheless, we made it this far, and you know, towards the end, I didn't end up kind of liking it more than I thought I would from the beginning. But hey, I feel like I'm kind of repeating the same shit over and over again at this point. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.